Hello, everyone. After the weekend, everyone is very concerned about the outcome of the U.S.-Iran negotiations. So, what was the result? We can sum it up in one sentence. Although Trump sounded optimistic in his remarks, the reality is not optimistic. Iran's state media has released very negative information, while Trump, in a rare move, issued another ultimatum this morning, one that is even harsher and more escalated than the previous threat to attack power plants. The deployment for a U.S. ground offensive has actually already been initially put in place. However, it's clear that Trump still wants to gather even more forces. Today, the Wall Street Journal released an exclusive report revealing part of the U.S. military's operational plans, specifically especially highlighting the intention to control the strait and, aside from seizing Kark Island, another plan that can be described as extremely significant. So how exactly will the U.S. military obtain the most critical enriched uranium? That's not something you can just do by hanging around the coast, right? For that, you'd have to go deep into Iran's interior. Today is March 30th, Eastern Time in the U.S. I'm Tang Jinyuan, and I'd like to welcome everyone to our Jinyuan Talks program. We also warmly invite you to subscribe to our channel. Here we use objective facts, logic, and common sense to uncover the truth behind the news. By subscribing to us, you'll not only know what happened, but also why it happened. Let's start by discussing the highly watched negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. After the weekend, everyone is probably very concerned. Previously, it was mentioned that there would be a meeting in Islamabad. So how did that meeting actually go? First of all, over the weekend, the U.S. and Iran mainly communicated indirectly through intermediaries, namely countries like Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt. The primary mode was still indirect communication and message passing, and there has not yet been any direct face-to-face talks. In Islamabad this weekend, Pakistan acted as the host and presided over a meeting of foreign ministers from 4 countries: Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss how to de-escalate the conflict between the U.S. and Iran and to create conditions for negotiations, among other things. The Pakistani foreign minister publicly stated that Pakistan is willing, in the coming days, to host and facilitate talks between the two sides who have disagreements. The goal is to reach a comprehensive and lasting solution. This kind of diplomatic statement, as you can hear, is essentially an open admission that the U.S. and Iran have not yet held direct talks. Of course, these talks or face-to-face meetings have not been successful. The main reason for this is actually quite simple. It's because, from Iran's perspective, they believe that the 15-point plan proposed by Trump sets the bar too high, is too excessive, and simply cannot be fully accepted. So up to now, as far as I can see, and from all the official reports and information I've found, including those from official sources, Iran has not yet issued any official response through its formal channels, such as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Presidential Office, or by releasing any kind of official statement. There has been no official response to the 15-point proposal put forward by the United States to end the war, none at all. But just a few days ago, as many of you might still remember, right? At that time, an Iranian state media outlet did report on this matter explicitly. Iran rejected some of the main terms and put forward its own 5-point counterproposal. This is essentially what we previously referred to as Iran's version of the 5 major demands. What do these mainly include? They are stopping assassinations, no more targeted killings, ensuring that war does not break out again, no more fighting, paying war reparations to Iran, and at the same time, halting all hostile actions against all Iranian proxies. In other words, this means that groups like Hezbollah and Hamas can't be attacked either. If there's going to be a ceasefire, it has to apply to everyone. Fifth, Iran must be recognized as having sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, including its legitimate right to collect passage fees. From now on, this area is under Iran's legal authority to continuously collect fees, right? $2 million per ship, and this will continue indefinitely. However, regarding the progress of this round of negotiations, the latest news is that President Trump himself, when he was on Air Force One early this morning and answered questions from reporters, said that he still remains very optimistic about these negotiations. He said that Iran has actually already responded to the 15-point proposal and that Iran has accepted most of the terms. He also mentioned that a few more terms might be added in the future. Then Trump once again brought up Iran. Didn't he say 4 days ago that as a gesture of goodwill, Iran allowed 10 oil tankers to pass through the strait, which he considered a big gift to him? Then he said, "Today, Iran has given me another big gift, which is that they doubled it, allowing 20 supertankers to pass through the strait, and even said that loading could begin as soon as tomorrow," and so on. In short, after watching this news, you can see that President Trump appears to be very optimistic. He said that the Democratic Progressive Party has secured many key points. He even said that both sides are still mainly communicating indirectly. He also admitted, he said, but there has also been direct communication. Personally, I guess this might have happened over the phone or through similar means, but it was not direct face-to-face negotiations. But in reality, we also see that there is still a lot of pessimistic information. And this also comes from the Trump administration. First of all, Trump himself, as we just mentioned to everyone, early this morning he posted what could be considered an upgraded version of an ultimatum. In this post, Trump said that major progress has been made in the US-Iran negotiations, but he also said, if for any reason an agreement cannot be reached quickly, and he specifically added in parentheses that this is very likely to happen, everyone should pay attention to how Trump speaks. He often does this, right? He tends to be ambiguous. Then he said, if the Strait of Hormuz cannot be reopened immediately, the U.S. will completely destroy all of Iran's power plants and oil wells, including Karg Island, and even all of its desalination plants. He said this would be the price for our wonderful stay in Iran. At the end, he added that this move is meant to punish Iran for its 47 years of terror rule, during which it slaughtered and killed many American soldiers and other personnel, among others. Of course, I have to objectively say about this kind of wording. On the surface, it seems like Trump is being very tough, saying that all the hydroelectric facilities, right, should be blown up. Doesn't that sound terrifying? I think this kind of wording is mainly used as a form of maximum pressure. It serves a theoretical purpose of deterrence in diplomatic negotiations. That theoretical significance is far greater than the actual implementation, because in my view, if you really destroyed all of Iran's power plants, its water facilities, including oil wells and Karg Island, it would inevitably cause a huge humanitarian disaster. Iran is a medium-sized country, and the entire nation could immediately fall into a state of total collapse. Iran has a considerable population, about 90 million, close to 100 million people. Right? The lives of all these people would be severely affected. In other words, if such a massive humanitarian disaster were to actually occur, for Trump himself and for his midterm elections, it would also be disastrous. So, personally, I don't think he would really go that far, right? But when it comes to negotiations, Trump is all about maximum pressure, isn't he? Talking tough for him, that's nothing out of the ordinary. However, if you look at the tough talk he's putting out, it also shows that Trump himself is under pressure. It also indicates that the progress of the negotiations is probably not as optimistic or as smooth as he claims publicly. That's why he feels the need to urgently apply pressure in this way. Because just today, not only Trump, but also members of his administration, like Secretary of State Rubio, who gave another media interview today, revealed the most critical and biggest point of disagreement in the US-Iran negotiations. So today, when Rubio was being interviewed by ABC, the American broadcasting company, he mentioned that Iran had put forward a major condition. What is this condition? Iran is demanding the establishment of a $2 million toll collection system in the Strait of Hormuz. Rubio made a strong statement about this, saying that this is absolutely not allowed to happen. He also added that President Trump has various means to prevent Iran from carrying this out. He said that at the same time, President Trump is considering possible actions to take. Ground military operations, and in addition, more U.S. soldiers and special forces have already been deployed to the Middle East and so on. So from Rubio's statement, you can actually see that he inadvertently revealed that one of the most critical focal points of these negotiations is the Strait of Hormuz, right? Iran is definitely insisting on this. The Strait of Hormuz is our right, isn't it? We absolutely cannot give up control over it. And not only do I control it, you also have to allow me to do so in a legitimate way. To collect $2 million from each ship is an entry fee. So, of course, for the United States, this is absolutely impossible to agree to, right? As for the U.S. military's ground offensive operations in Iran, we've actually already discussed this a lot before, including the possibility that the U.S. military might try to seize Karg Island or perhaps Abu Musa Island, as well as Greater and Lesser Tunba Islands and so on. It might even include militarily occupying the Iranian territories along the Strait's coastline, and so on and so forth. In fact, in Trump's ground offensive plan, there is actually another major player involved. That is, in the past, we actually haven't talked much about it, and international public opinion hasn't discussed it much either, the roughly 460 kilograms of enriched uranium that Iran possesses. Just today, the Wall Street Journal published an exclusive report. It revealed a bombshell. President Trump is considering a highly risky and challenging military operation. The plan is to directly seize these 460 kilograms of enriched uranium from Iran. So what exactly is this plan? How would they go about seizing it? Let's pause for a moment and move into today's sponsored segment, where I want to introduce you to the often sold out Jeju Island Red Sea Cucumber Health Gel from Korea. So this Red Sea cucumber, it comes from the local Haenyeo, female divers of Jeju Island, Korea, right? It's made from wild Red Sea cucumbers that have been harvested by generations of these traditional divers. Therefore, its restorative effects on the human body are exceptionally good. And it's precisely because of this that the repurchase rate is especially high. Also, since it's made from wild sea cucumbers, the supply is quite limited and it's often sold out. Let me share some feedback from a lady with everyone. She told us that her 88-year-old father back in China suffered from severe knee pain, making it difficult for him to move around. He had to use a wheelchair and couldn't walk. After watching our program, this lady decided to give it a try and bought the Red Sea cucumber to send back home. After some time, her father gave her feedback, saying that the comfort in his joints had noticeably improved. He was able to move independently, and his abilities had all improved. In addition, there was also a lawyer named Song from Miami who had long suffered from high blood pressure. He gave us feedback that after taking Red Sea cucumber for a period of time, he felt less dizzy during the day, and his sleep quality at night had also greatly improved. Of course, these are all personal experiences shared by our audience, so the results may not be exactly the same for everyone. Because the stock of Red Sea cucumber is limited, we are now launching a special promotional offer. As long as you make a regular monthly purchase, you can receive 2 great gifts. What does that mean? If you regularly purchase the 60-stick pack of Red Sea cucumber every month or every 2 months, you will receive a free pack of Shenhuang probiotic tablets. If you order the smaller 30-stick box of Red Sea cucumber, you can also receive this gift. 1 tube of Korean Repair sunscreen will be given to you. In addition, during this promotional period, all users who participate in the monthly fixed subscription purchase will also receive an extra $10 voucher for Shenhuang products, valid for 2 months. In addition, friends in Mainland China, please pay attention. This is an exclusive offer only for friends in Mainland China. As long as you purchase this 60-stick box of Red Sea cucumber, you will not only receive a free pack of Shenhuang Lichen tablets, but also 1 original Phoenix Black Sea cucumber from Liulian Shen. This one alone is worth dozens of dollars, plus you'll also get a $10 Shenhuang voucher. The more you buy, the more you get. But if you say, I just don't want to subscribe, right? I just want to buy once or twice to try it out. That's totally fine too. For one-time purchases, just remember to enter my discount code KIJIWAI, and you can also get a 15% discount. But to be honest, I can't 100% guarantee that it's always in stock. All right, thank you all for your support. Let's continue. The topic we were just discussing, the Wall Street Journal's expose, says that this is an extremely complex and highly risky mission, which could require U.S. troops to be stationed inside Iran for several days or even longer. According to the report, Trump has not yet made a final decision to issue this order. However, overall, he is open to the idea. He strongly encourages his subordinates to put pressure on Iran, demanding that Iran must agree to hand over this enriched uranium. He regards this as one of the main conditions for ending the war. However, if Iran is unwilling to hand over this enriched uranium at the negotiating table, he will resort to using force to seize it. That's what the report says. The report also specifically quotes the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Grossi. Grossi believes that this batch of enriched uranium from Iran is mainly hidden in 2 locations. One is inside an underground tunnel at the Isfahan nuclear facility, and the other is in Natanz, which is also an underground hiding place. He also pointed out that the centrifuges Iran uses for uranium enrichment, that is, this equipment, have not been completely destroyed. He said that Iran has the capability to rebuild new underground uranium enrichment facilities. But think about it, for the US military, any operation to seize this enriched uranium by force would be extremely complicated and very dangerous. Why? Because it would require the US military to first fly to the site of the incident, and that's not on the coast. It's deep inside Iran's territory. On the way, you could be attacked by Iran's surface-to-air missiles and drones. Even if you manage to arrive at the site smoothly, let's say you reach Isfahan, right? Once the combat troops get there, they would have to operate deep behind enemy lines. In enemy territory, you must establish a secure zone. This is necessary so that engineers equipped with excavation equipment can clear away the rubble and dig into the underground tunnels. And it might even include extremely risky tasks like mine clearance, because Iran, it's said that now, in some of those nuclear facilities, they've already planted a lot of landmines. They're worried that U.S. forces, special operations units might go in to take things. Moreover, some military experts have pointed out that this batch of highly enriched uranium, which is over 460 kilograms, would likely need to be divided into 40 to 50 specially made steel cylinders, similar to those used for diving equipment. That's quite a large quantity. So, in order to prevent any accidents, it said that these steel cylinders would probably need to be fully loaded, requiring at least several trucks. You can't just stack them one after another like that, right? There might also be some special arrangements involved. It would take several trucks, which is quite a significant target. If there isn't an existing airport in the area, then the US military would have to do something else. They would need to build a temporary airstrip right at the excavation site. This is so that planes can take off and land to transport the nuclear materials and so on that they've extracted. The entire process is extremely risky. If anything goes wrong at any stage, it could cause the whole operation to fail, right? In short, to extract these materials, you need a team. A specially trained elite special operations force. In addition, you also need support from airstrikes, satellite intelligence, and so on. It's a comprehensive effort involving many aspects to make it possible. Even under the most ideal circumstances, when everything goes very smoothly, the entire operation, according to assessments, could still take several days or even up to a week to complete. If things don't go quite as planned, you might end up staying there for several weeks. That's why this report describes the operation as one of the most challenging missions in the entire Iran war. And if you really go through with this, it could very likely trigger large-scale retaliation from Iran, which could further complicate the situation in the Gulf region and might also cause the war to last far longer than what the Trump administration had anticipated. 4 to 6 weeks, this time frame, and again, this was mentioned today by the U.S. Treasury Secretary, Besant. He also revealed a small piece of information. He confirmed to the media once again that although the United States is currently dealing with the Iranian regime for the time being, he said that America's long-term strategic goal is to regain control over the Strait of Hormuz. He said that the strait must achieve complete freedom of navigation, whether that is accomplished through U.S. naval escorts or through a multinational coalition. It must be fulfilled no matter what. So you see, if you combine the revelations from the Wall Street Journal with what Besant disclosed, right? No matter how you look at it, I really don't think the people currently in power in Iran, especially those in the Revolutionary Guard, are likely to just surrender unconditionally, right? Like, okay, I'll hand over all the enriched uranium and I'll also give up control of the strait. As for Trump, he warned that he might launch a full-scale energy strike. Not only would he bomb your power plants, but he'd also bomb your water plants and everything else. In fact, Iran has already started to respond in advance. Previously, the U.S.-Israel coalition bombed 2 of Iran's major steel plants, right? And also the power plant attached to one of those steel plants. So today, Iran launched a retaliatory attack against Kuwait, a country with a U.S. military base. The targets of the strike were a power plant in Kuwait and a desalination plant. According to reports, at least one Indian worker may have died in this attack. I guess this person is probably similar to those laborers sent abroad from China. So what about Kuwait? After the bombing occurred, Kuwait immediately activated an emergency response plan and quickly assessed the damage. Their assessment concluded that at present, the national electricity and water supply networks are generally operating in a relatively stable manner. However, the facilities that were attacked have been significantly affected, which may impact local power supply and freshwater production. Although the damage itself is not considered very large, the subsequent impact it brings is indeed enormous. Why is that? Because 90% of Kuwait's drinking water nationwide depends entirely on seawater desalination plants. Therefore, this type of facility is regarded as the lifeline of the nation throughout all the Gulf countries. It's not just Kuwait. Every country in the surrounding region is the same. So, this attack marks Iran's first and most direct strike against Kuwait since the start of the conflict. These are the most essential facilities for people's livelihoods, like water and electricity. Just think about it. In the Gulf countries, water is said to be more precious than oil, right? In such a region, to directly attack their desalination facilities, the risk of water shortages caused by this is something no country can afford to ignore. So, just before I started this live stream with everyone, I saw the latest news. Countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, and also Qatar, among others, these Gulf countries, especially the UAE, reportedly have the toughest stance. They are insisting that the United States must not stop the war now. It has to be fought to the end. Moreover, the UAE has taken the toughest stance yet. They are urging the United States to speed up the ground offensive. Previously, other countries were only saying things like, we hope the US continues the bombing and doesn't stop. But the UAE is directly saying, you should deploy troops as soon as possible. And then they're saying, we'll support you. Why has it come to this? It's because Iran's current actions have made them feel that Iran is already threatening the very lifeline of these countries' survival. This is no longer just some minor skirmish, right? How did it come to this?